into the Crockett territory, you talked briefly about teaming up with Jimmy Snuka. What was he like back then, in and out of the ring?
Me and Jimmy were like husband and wife almost. We were every day. We were together on the road. Everything we did, everything together. And Jimmy taught me so much. I mean, there is a true. This guy here, there again, he was one of the best ever in this business, because you never know who's the best. It's hard to say. It's a matter of opinion.
Right.
But Jimmy Snuka, it was right up there with anybody in this business. I mean, the body on that he had and the psychology he had, because he knew the business.
You guys were managed by Lars Anderson, correct?
We might have been in the beginning a little bit,
right,
and then it broke off, I think. Yeah.
You also had some classic matches with Greg Valentine around this time.
Greg's another good one. He's real. He was an old school. He was like the type guy you lay him into him, and he lay him right back. And he was good to work with. I enjoyed working with him.
How would you compare the locker room as far as the Mid Atlantic region to the Mid South region?
Well, you had a lot more stars in the Atlantic. I mean, you had a lot of stars there. I mean, you had Flair, Steamboat, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, people like that. And up there with Bill, you had a lot of young guys.
Right.
You had a lot of the young guys, and you had a few of the older guys that were like light fixtures there, that were just there. But you learned from them as well, and if you asked one of the vets to help you, they would help you. But if you didn't ask them, they weren't going to give it to you for nothing. They weren't going to come up and say it. But that's just the way this business was. And I got along with most all of it.
And I believe you and Jimmy won the NWA tag titles. Did you guys go to any other different territories to defend those titles at any time?
Well, yeah. At that time, they would every other week we'd go to Atlanta, and we'd work on Channel 17.
Right.
So we were kind of back and forth. We'd go to St. Louis and make some big shows together. Yeah.
Any memories that stand out?
Oh yeah. Well, just the memories of being with Jimmy and some of the matches. Oh, with the matches with Ole Anderson and Gene Anderson, we had some fantastic matches with Ole, and there again, he was a machine.
Right.
He just kept coming, and all this time was a learning experience for me, and I took it in.
Memories of Ric Flair in and out of the ring, and did you ever think he would be as big as he is today?
Oh yeah, Rick is an excellent worker, no doubt about that. But you got to remember, if you got to have the pencil, no matter who you are. If you ain't got the pencil, if you don't have somebody behind you, you're only as good as they want you to be honest. And that's just the way it is. It's hard to rock the boat in some of these territories because it was owned by, somebody like the Crockett's owned it, and they had their people, and all we did as younger guys would just come in and, we'd be gone again, but they would always stay. And I wasn't to that point yet,
Right.
And towards the end, I didn't like it there very much, and at all. I ended up quitting.
You went back to work for Mid-South, correct?
Yeah. I went back, stayed there for a little while, and I believe I quit there, and that's when, WWF got in touch.
Now, when you went back, you worked with a lot of guys like Fowler's, Dick Slater's, David Schultz, and guys like that. And also, you went to the Alabama territory, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that was Pensacola.
Right.
Yeah, up and then we'd worked Dothan and Birmingham, places like that.
What are some of your memories of David Schultz from back then, before WWF?
Before? David was cocky. He's a pretty good sized boy. He was a good worker. He was good. The guy was good, but he forced the issue in New York. He just tried to get over 3 or 4 of us that was getting over good, and he just tried to make his mark. And when he slapped that guy, he went over the edge.
Do you think Vince put him up to that?
No. No, he was taking his shot. He was going to he was trying to be the number one heel, as was I and everybody else. And there was a pecking order there. And he was at the bottom of the heap, to be honest. I mean, I'm going to tell you it like it is. That's the way it was.
Right.
So, yeah, he tried to get there. You know, that was his way of trying to get up to get some notoriety.
How did the boys hear about what happened between David Schultz and John Stossel? And do you think David should have been fired for that?
Well, he was.
Right. I mean, do you
Yes.
agree with that decision?
Yes. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
How easy for him. David's 6'5", 270, 280. You have this little guy, and you just slap him for, you don't do that.
Right.
That's not a good image. And I believe, I always tried to keep your image. Here we are, professional wrestlers, and most people think of us being a bunch of carnies and this and that. It is stuff like that gives us a bad name. It's truly stuff like that. And I thought it was uncalled for. Yeah, it costed $300,000-400,000. Yeah, he should have been fired. Absolutely.
But when you and Roddy, did you guys ever butt heads over being a top heel in WF? Is there a lot of backstabbing and stuff, politics?
Oh yeah. I never did really, because this is my thinking. I didn't need to do that because my work proved it. I always use my work as my talking. You could, you think that's corny or whatever it may be, but I knew I was different. I knew my style was different. I knew that, the way I work and the way I looked, I knew that the people, before it's over with, were going to get with me, and I would be the best heel there, which I was. And it was because of my work. It took me longer now. But once I got there, I was established. It stayed. I mean, I had death threats and everything else, man. Bottles, darts thrown at me, and you'd be surprised.
I got a lot of questions about WFR, but we'll get to that soon.
Okay.
Also, when Ken Mantell was, I guess you had some matches with him.
Yeah.
Air cream matches.
Yeah. Yeah, that was again, I was in Mid-South.
Right.
And
did Bill treat you any differently this time when you went back?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got along. Really, it was a love-hate relationship.
Right.
But I got my experience. He really groomed me. He helped me. I mean, the guy really did. I mean, he let me stay in an extra room he had in his house. He had a big house. And he helped me out. I mean, he really did. And I learned towards the end, that really respect him. And I did to this day. Bell Watch was good to me.
Any memories of Dick Slater and Angelo Mosca? They were there.
Yeah, Angelo, I knew a little bit, but he was on his way out. Dickie is one of my friends. We grew up. We played against each other in high school. And then Dickie went to Tampa, and I don't know what happened there. But Dick Slater, I kind of always wanted to be like Dick Slater and Bob Orton.
Right.
Yeah, because those two guys, to me, will go down as two of the best, especially as a tag team. Any
specific memories on Bob Orton Jr.?
No, Bob. He stuttered a lot, but no, he taught me as well. When you got teachers like that, you can't help but be good. I mean, it's that simple. Those guys were the best. It's the reason why these guys are making $1 million a year. It's because of the Dick Slaters, Bob Ortons, the Bill Watt, people like that, the Eddie Grahams. They taught them. They taught Hogan. They taught all these people, myself. And that's who we need to be thankful for. Hiro Masuda.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.